Hi everybody, welcome to Mom's Zen Room. I'm Mary. It's good to see you guys again. It's been a long time. Been I've been bad about sitting down and doing this, and I want to change that. I want to be regular about it. It's good for me, and if it helps even one person, then it's really important for me to do it. So, here I am today. Today I want to talk about body image and how we can really maintain a positive, healthy, and realistic image of ourselves in spite of what gets thrown at us on social media and in society and movies and TV and wherever we see things getting shoved in our faces. So this kind of spins off a little bit from our last topic, which was unconditional love. And this body image is really, it kind of sprouts from the way you love yourself. If you love yourself unconditionally, your body image will, will go along with that. You'll love your body regardless of, maybe your weight or your complexion, or if you got your eyelashes done or your hair cut or dyed or whatever the case may be. When you love yourself unconditionally, it kind of falls in place that you love your body too, because your body is part of you. And we'll start there. Your body. What is your body? It's not you. You are not your body. I am not my body. My body is the vessel, the container that holds me. It holds all of the amazing highways of veins and arteries and bones and tissues and everything that makes me human and being able to move around and walk and live, exist, breathe, do anything. This is an amazing creation, my body, that holds all of that stuff together. And it also, it can't really hold me, like my essence. I've said this before, that one of my favorite ways of looking at this life is we're so often convinced that we are physical beings having a spiritual experience when we learn how to meditate or get more in touch with our spiritual side. But in reality, we are spiritual beings, and in this life, we are having a physical experience. So our bodies are, if you're of this belief, and I definitely am, our spirit lives forever. Our bodies are not going to. And we don't have to talk about what happened before and what happens after death and all that kind of good stuff. But for right now, I'm operating on the belief that my spirit is this eternal thing, and while I'm on this earth, it is being contained, so to speak, anchored to the earth maybe by this body. So when you look at it in a little more logical way than just how do I feel about my body, but really look at it from almost a scientific viewpoint. I mean, it is amazing. It's amazing that we function as well as we do with all of the millions of neurons and everything that has to fire correctly. We are miracles walking around. It's just an amazing thing to me. So it's sad that we take this, and we're all unique, but we all have certain things that we can do. Some people are disabled, some people don't have the same abilities, but we still have this vessel, this container that allows us to exist in human form. And if we really look at it that way, it's miraculous. It really is. Our skin, it holds everything in, but it's soft. And it's breathable, but it doesn't let things leak out. I mean, it's amazing what our bodies do. And so to me, it's very sad that we can take something so miraculous and really whittle it down to, well, what does it look like? And do I like what it looks like? And does it look the way that I want it to look, or that everybody expects it to look? And so much of our body image is wrapped up in how we were raised. There's just no way around it. If you had very critical parents or siblings or friends that, teased you for, not being smart enough, or not being the right size, or being too shy, or, picking your nose, or any little physical thing that people can notice about you that they pick on you about, that they, criticize you about, that sticks with us. And especially those young years of, between like 2 and 7 or whatever, when all of this critical thinking is just coming into existence. We're teaching our kids how to look at themselves. And one of the things that my mom did was, she was always critical of herself. And I heard that. I was very loved by my family. My brothers teased me sometimes, but my mom and dad never, said, oh, you're such a fat little kid, why don't you stop eating? They didn't say stuff like that. But, and I know some people's parents did, and that's horrible. It's such a sad way to grow up. But what I heard, and I'm sure a lot of people are the same, and even my kids could say this about me, because I did not learn as well as I wanted to. But my mom criticized herself, her body, all the time. She was always on a diet. She was always complaining how fat she was, and that she couldn't do stuff because she was too fat. And I hated it. And all it did was make me think like, well, I look just like her. I'm a little round roly-poly thing, just like my mom. And we're eating buddies. We would make cookies and eat them together. We had this beautiful bond, but there was this piece of real negativity. It was a negative way for her to talk about herself, for me to think about myself. I learned that behavior from her. And of course, I told myself, I'm not going to act that way around my kids. But I did. It was in a little different way, but I was very hard on myself in front of my kids. And it wasn't necessarily about my weight or anything like that, but a lot of times it would be about like losing my temper, or spending too much money, or things that are very common, very human, very understandable, and very forgivable. There's no shame we all make mistakes, we all make judgment calls, but when we talk down about ourselves in front of our children especially, they hear that. And they love us unconditionally, at least when they're little, they do. So if they think, well, if mom thinks that about herself, what does she think about me? There's stuff going on in those growing brains that holds on to these really unrealistic and inappropriate and untrue things. There was nothing wrong with my mom or the way she looked. She was healthy weight. She had a little bit of chunk going on, just like me. But she was happy. She was healthy. She did stuff. She lived life. She was, until she got older and her joints started giving out. But that's different. But so I guess what I really am trying to very poorly communicate is that we take on so much, and it's easy for us as children to take on the insecurities of our parents, the self-criticisms of themselves, and bring it with us as we grow. And so when we get to you know, an age where people start really noticing each other's bodies and stuff when we're in, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. Some of these things surface as just an alarming rate of kids who are just not comfortable in their own skin, not happy with how they look, or all sorts of things. And because we're just talking about body image today, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of everything else um, that we learn. We will eventually. I really would like to talk about some, mental health problems and how we can learn to, talk about them and seek help. But today, I just want to let's learn how to be realistic about our bodies, about our image of ourselves. When you look in the mirror, what do you do? Is the first thing you do say, "Oh, I need makeup on"? Don't look at yourself. Or do you start criticizing that? I can pinch more than an inch. That used to be the thing, right? That's how I grew up. Can you pinch more than an inch? Well, that was too much, and that's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous standard, and it's unattainable for most people to have this strict ideal of body type. So I want to challenge you a little bit to, go into your bathroom by yourself, take all your clothes off, look in the mirror, and instead of criticizing the things you don't think are perfect, look at your body as the miracle that it is. You have, and again, I know some people are not blessed with working limbs and the ability to see, and so I'm sorry, I'm not trying to single anybody out or to but if you can't look at yourself in the mirror, feel yourself. Just whatever you need to do to kind of put yourself in the place of observe yourself from kind of someone else's point of view. And looking in the mirror is a good way to do that. It's like, okay, so what do I see when I look in the mirror? Instead of me saying, well, this double chin is just like, I hate it. I hate this. I just don't like it. It's embarrassing. I don't want people to take a picture of me. And, I don't, it's my double chin does not define who I am. Nothing about my body defines who I am. Everything that really counts is intangible. It's that essence that we have. It's that our soul, our spirit, our being, that our intellect, and every emotional thing that crams itself into our essence. It's in us, it's around us, it flows in and out of spaces that we can't measure. So when we criticize this container and then allow ourselves to feel like that is what defines us, it's so sad, because we sell ourselves so short when we do that. Because let's face it, there is nobody perfect. I mean, okay, maybe there are some 20, 25-year-olds out there who, for the time being, physically may have what people would call the perfect body. Smooth, tight skin, no blemishes. But you know what? That is so fleeting. It's just not, it's not sustainable. And when we focus so much on this packaging, a lot of times we neglect what really counts, what's in here. And we may spend hours and hours a day and thousands of dollars a year trying to make this package as perfect as possible, as perfect as whatever vision in our head of perfection we have. And we don't spend hardly any time getting to know ourselves, you know, discovering what we really like, what we're really interested in, what really matters to us. We don't spend much time working on ourselves, on our personalities, on our weaknesses. You know, it's good to identify, you know, what are some of your weaknesses in your personality that you can, you know, improve upon, or that you can tweak. You know, I've had this conversation with my daughter recently that we are, sometimes we expect like our partner to be our everything, right? I want you to be my best friend and my lover and my confidant and, you know, my all of this. I want you to understand everything that I need to say. I want you to, you know, fill every void there is. And a lot of time, and that's a lot of pressure for one person, first of all. But it's rarely possible. I mean, yes, you and your spouse, your partner, your whatever, can have a very, you know, wonderful, full experience and relationship where you can kind of, you know, meet each other's needs. But I don't want my daughter to, and I have to remind myself of this too, that it's like, if someone is expecting something of me that I can't provide, and that's I have to be the one to say, you know, I these are my limits. You know, it's important for us to also recognize that we do have limits. And boy, this is kind of a tangent that I didn't quite expect to take here, so I apologize. This isn't really about body image anymore, but it's on the same wavelength that, just like we are not able maybe emotionally to be all things for all people. I can't be everything to my kids, that even if I want to, I cannot be a good mom with discipline and their best friend and confidant and, you know, someone who is not going to offer advice to them. I just, there is, now at certain times I can be all of those things, but not all at once. So I think that is a good way to relate to body image, that, you know, we have what we have. This is who I am. I'm 5 foot tall. I say I'm 5'1", but I started out at 5 3/4 of an inch, and I think I'm down to like 5 1/4 now. So I'm 5 foot tall. I'm, you know, I don't even know what my BMI is, but it's way more than it's supposed to be. And although I don't physically feel like I am at my healthiest, and I do want to improve my physical health along with my spiritual health and my mental health. Those are all such important things to me. But realistically, this is the body that I have today. I'm 5 feet tall. I'll never be a flight attendant, you know, because you have to be 5'4" or whatever. There are limitations to our bodies. You know, I'm 52 years old. I notice now when I'm exercising, if I jump, there's not much give in my knees anymore. So I know that I'm, you know, my cartilage, my meniscus, the connective tissue in between my joints is degrading as I get older. And it's a physical phenomena. Phenomena. I love that word. But it happens, you know. So looking at our bodies, like appreciating them for what they are, but also knowing that there are limitations, you know, and that's okay. That's normal. That is 1,000% normal. There is no one who, you know, you can look at somebody like, I'll just say Michael Phelps, right? So he is built to swim. He's got long legs and a crazy long torso and you know, orangutan arms. I mean, he's just built to move through the water. I don't know how good at yoga he would be, or a bike rider. There are just, our bodies are so unique and so specialized that we might be really good at certain things, but we're not built for everything. And so even more than just our what we see when we look in the mirror, it is okay to embrace our limitations on what we are able to do physically with our bodies. And it's really empowering. I will tell you this has been my experience, that when I have given up, that finally, I turned 50 and something happened to me. I finally didn't care as much about what the scale said. Okay, for me that's always been it. It's my weight. I'm too heavy. I want to lose weight. I want to see my muscles. I want to, I want to be skinny. I want to be thin. I want to look like everybody else. Blah blah blah. And I finally got it stuck in my head that's, for me, that, first of all, I don't even know how realistic that is. I mean, I am a muscular person. I have a lot of muscle. If I am going to ever tone up or lose enough, padding to see my muscles, I don't know. I mean, I can't picture it in my head. I don't think I would like it. I mean, it's going to change the way I look. I have a soft look because I have some padding between my skin and my muscles. So I have a soft, feminine look. And if I didn't have that layer of fat between my skin and my muscles, I don't know if I would like that look very much. I would be very proud of myself for a short period of time, that look at what I accomplished. But in the big scheme of things, it's not going to change who I am on the inside. So this letting go of these ideals that we either were created for us in childhood, or that we developed as a result of being teased or being bullied or having everything thrown at us. And this generation, these younger generations now, are much more accepting of different body types. When I was growing up, it was the fat kid stood out and was usually teased mercilessly, and I was one of them. So it was like, there weren't a lot of us. We stood out, and it was a horrific experience. But at the same time, I embrace it because it was my experience, and I'm going to do whatever I want with it. And for a long time, it motivated me to be active and yes, I was rather focused on losing weight. That was kind of my goal. I want to lose weight. I want to be this. I want to be that. And although I don't think that was the healthy attitude to have, it did give me the push to be active and to pay attention to my health, my physical health. And I, after being overweight my whole life and trying to lose weight and, be healthy and get fit, I mean, I feel like I have an amazing amount of knowledge on healthy eating and healthy activity and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. I don't always have the motivation or the discipline to put it into practice, but really having the knowledge is very, very powerful. Knowledge can be very powerful. And if I would have grown up as a skinny person and got to this stage in my life and had gained weight, I might have absolutely no idea why it happened. I know the science behind it. I know I can understand why I am where I am. And yes, it might be a little harder for me to lose weight than um, a another person because of my thyroid or my hormones or whatever, stage of life, genetics. That's a big one. So, but the point I'm trying to make is that um, even though my impression of myself was not always great, I did not always have a very good body image. I always wanted to, I wanted there to be less of me. I always wanted to lose weight. But even that kind of unhealthy attitude produced some very healthy habits. And I learned to love exercise, and I love getting in the habit of going to the gym. Now, I've been out of that habit for quite a while, but I do know that once I get started again, I'm going to love it. I know that, and that will help motivate me to do that. So, I mean, I really like to look at the positive and everything. That is ultimately what drives me, is being positive and appreciating the hard things, the negative things, the mistakes, the imperfections, appreciating those to grow and to learn and to just that self-discovery is so empowering. And so I know this was a very bizarre, like my normal, tornado of words that come out. I want you all to know that no matter what your body type is, what shape you are, the condition of your hair or your skin, your physical abilities, none of that defines who you are. To be comfortable in your own skin, to love yourself just the way you are right now, today, even if you're not where you want to be. I mean, I know that I will feel better, I will feel healthier, I will feel more energy if I do slim down a little bit and get a little bit more cardio in. I do plenty of weights, but I would like to get a little more cardio, help my heart and my lungs. And when I am in that mode, I feel great. And it doesn't matter, the scale might not change at all. That doesn't matter to me anymore. What matters to me is living a healthy life, living a balanced life, and being satisfied with myself even when things are out of balance. Because, as soon as we get things into balance, something happens. And, it's a constant, life is a constant balancing act. So I have learned to let go of that desire to just, I gotta lose weight, I gotta be this weight, I gotta be this, I gotta be this, and embrace, I want to be healthy. I want to feel good. I want more energy. I want to live as long as I can, to be a blessing to my kids and to their kids. My mom died when I was 30 and my daughter was 1. My oldest daughter was 1 year old. And I, we don't know. Our days are all numbered. We don't know when we're going to go. But if she had taken a more active approach to her, or proactive approach to her physical health, she could have lived a lot longer. She didn't. She gave up. She decided that she was happy just the way she was, and she was just going to stay that way. And there is, being happy with the way you are is important, but it is also very important to be realistic. Like, realistically speaking, what do I want? What do I want out of this life, out of this body? And, I have some high expectations of myself still. I still want to be able to, go hiking and play with my grandkids when I have them, because that's going to be fun. Play with my dogs, take them for walks, you know, just get out there and do things, and not be overly limited by my physical health. And again, you know, everything ebbs and flows, diseases come and go, injuries come and go, but overall, in the big picture of things, love yourself. Give yourself that grace to look in the mirror every day, regardless of anything else, and acknowledge the miracle of your body. Your body is a miracle. And all the stuff that's going on underneath the surface, millions of miracles all working in harmony to let me talk with my hands. I'm a hand talker. And how many millions of things are going on inside my body just to let me do that? It's mind blown, right? It's crazy. So I don't really know if this was the way I was expecting this video to go, this talk to go, but I hope that it has brought you a little bit more appreciation for your body, your unique body, and embrace it, everything about it, your imperfections, your limitations, your weaknesses, your strengths. And those will all change and develop, and you know, it is that constant, we are in constant motion. We don't sit still. I think, who did I hear, let's see, was it David Goggins? I think I heard him say recently, we're either moving forward or we're moving backwards. We're never staying still. And I thought that was a very interesting observation. I respect him and admire him. And if you don't know who he is, Google him, because he's a pretty incredible man. I am not anything like him. His whole lifestyle and attitude is way beyond where I want to be in my own life. But he is one of the most determined people that has probably ever lived. He has ambition and determination and discipline, and he goes and he does it, and he does not make excuses, which is probably why he's, you know, single. And I'm not saying that to be joking, but you know, how do you put up with somebody? I mean, how do you live with somebody like that? That if you expect perfection out of yourself, it's pretty hard to. That's hard. That's very hard. And if you're that kind of person, you know, I'm probably not the person for you when it comes to getting advice or anything. But there are all sides to everything. But I encourage you to look up David Goggins, because he's a fascinating man, and he has overcome a lot, and he's got some great ideas, and he might be right up your alley for motivating you to, yeah, if you need motivation to get up every morning and go to the gym, he could probably help with that. I'm more of the, you know, yes, go to the gym, it's going to make you feel wonderful, but if you miss out, don't punish yourself. So that's more my you know, my wheelhouse. But you know, love yourself. Comes back to that love, that unconditional love for yourself. That includes your vessel, your package, your container. Just be happy in your own skin. However you woke up today, whatever you look like, whatever, you know, you're bloated, you're hungover, however you are today, smile and know that you know, first of all, you woke up. That's a pretty cool thing. And although you might not be able to do everything physically that you want to do, you certainly have done, you know, if you're alive, your heart is beating and you're breathing, and you know, there is stuff going on inside that allows you to get around to do things, to think, to feel, to move, and it's all so, it's so much more than the little, we dummy it down to the most basic. You know, you have to have this size of waist and this size of breasts and this kind of ass, and you know, you have to be able to, you know. And I get my eyelashes done. And I'll admit it's one of my little fun vanities, but I don't do it because I feel like I have to. I do it because I want to. You know, I do like not having to put mascara on every day. I like that. And I have very short and very blonde eyelashes naturally, so you can't even tell that I look like I look like I have no hair on my face when my regular eyelashes are there. So I enjoy things like that. And if you do, that's great. But check in with yourself and make sure that is coming from a place of genuine want, and not trying to fit someone else's ideal of what you should be, what you should look like, what you should wear, what you should, you know, your physical being is part of you. And you get to make the rules. So I encourage you to love yourself, whatever shape you're in, whatever frame of mind you're in, whatever age you are, whatever, everything. Love that body. Embrace everything about you, positives and negatives, strengths and weaknesses, abilities and inabilities, and really hang on to the desire to improve, the desire to become more of you, more of who you want to be. And don't let other people tell you what that looks like. You know, if you want to, if you want to lose weight and start bodybuilding and go and compete at a high level, then go out and do it. That's fantastic. And if you want to be able to be happy with some flab and a double chin, but still be active and feel healthy and fit, that's amazing. So don't give up on the idea of bettering yourself, but do it in a way that feeds you, that empowers you, and that is personal to you. So that being said, I keep looking at the clocks and like, shut up, Mary, it's time to go. So I'm gonna go and get my hair cut. So next time you see me, I will have different hair, and well, it'll be the same hair, but there'll be less of it. And I'm debating on coloring it again. My roots are showing pretty good, but I don't know. I have not gone without coloring my hair for almost 30 years probably. So it's kind of probably, I don't know, is it time? Shouldn't I go natural? And and I'm going through some changes too, so my hair is like kind of changing. It's getting thinner and finer and changing texture, so I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I might look a little different next time you see me. So, and you know what, I'm gonna love myself that way too, just like I love myself today, just the way I am. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and your week and your weekend. Happy May. I love May. May in Alaska is one of my favorite times. It's just, it feels great. So, okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. It's like you're my only friend. All right, have a great day. Bye.